What was the Pharisees' reaction towards their defeat? They surely were disappointed and felt angry for their killed soldiers.
Yes, but what they do?
They certainly thought of revenging upon the Muslims, didn't they?
Yes, my son. Their casualties were enormous in Badr. So, they decided to fight the Muslims. Do you know why?
To revenge for their killed fellows and regain their dignity between the tribes.
That's true. What else?
To destroy the Muslims before they grow stronger.
Excellent. What else?
What else, grandfather?
In order to keep hold over their trade routes and protect their caravans from the Muslims.
What did they do, grandfather?
They agreed on revenge.
Do revenge for Quraysh! Do revenge for Quraysh! Do revenge for Quraysh! We will retaliate and give the Muslims a lesson. They will never forget.
The fire of vindictiveness flamed in the heart of Hind, the daughter of Utbah and the wife of Abu Sufyan, when Hamza bin Abdul Muttalib killed her brother and father. So she began to argue the process, to revenge and fight.
Did Hind participate in the battle?
Were the women used to participate in battles?
Yes, yes. Have you forgotten that the history of Islam is full of such examples?
That's true, my sons.
What the women do in the battle in addition to looking after the wounded?
The women participated in battles to encourage the fighters, since taking the woman in the battle makes the fighters fight bitterly for them.
Also, there were lady fighters like Khawla bint al-Aswad. Weren't there, grandfather?
Yes, Dog.
Oh people! Oh people! Get ready for the fight. We are all ready for revenge. Let's gather allies in the nearby tribes and deduct the money of the caravan saved in Badr for this battle. Oh, Abu Sufyan! Are you yourself going to lead this battle? Yes, I am. Let's start preparing for the war right now.
What was the numbers of their fighters?
There were 3,017 women. In their front was Hind bin Utbah. The army marched in two wings. The right wing was led by Khalid bin Walid, and the left wing was led by Ikrimah bin Abu Jahl.
Was Khalid a polytheist?
Yes, he was. But later, Allah guided him to Islam.
Did the Muslims know about Quraysh's march?
Yes, they did. The Muslims began to prepare themselves for the war.
Oh Muslims! Oh Muslims! The Prophet, peace be upon him, consults you whether to stay in Medina or to go out for the fighting Quraysh. We would better go out to defeat them. Yes! Let's go to defeat them! Let's go to fight them outside Al-Medina. It's better to follow what Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, decided. Let's go out for them! Let's go out for them!
Did they indeed go out?
Yes, they did. They were the zealous youths who missed the battle of Badr.
Did the messenger, peace be upon him, agree with those zealous youths?
Yes, he did. The messenger, peace be upon him, ruled by Shura, and he was the first to wear his shield and command people to go out for jihad.
What was the number of the Muslims fighter?
1,000 men and a group of women. Of them was Nusayba al-Mazaniya that worked very hard.
Only 1,000 faces 3,000?
Yes, the Muslims many times won battles in spite of their little numbers and defeated armies greater than them in numbers and supplications.
When the battle started?
It started in the month of Shawwal, in the third year of the Hijrah, and the Prophet, peace be upon him, chose a time after midnight to set out. Why?
In order not to be seen by the enemy.
They marched before reaching Ohod. An unexpected thing happened.
What happened?
Oh men, let's go. Oh people, what happened? Abdullah bin Abu Salal drove back with a third of the army. Keep firm, all Muslims. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, commands you to be firm and not to care for the false leader, Ibn Abu Salal.
Did the Muslims continue their march?
Certainly, they did.
What was their number then?
Only 700, and they camped at the Mount of Ohod.
Did the Muslims know the Mount of Ohod?
Yes, they did. They had beautiful memories on this mount. And Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said to his companions, Ohod is a mount that loves us, and we love.
What were Muslims' memories on the Mount of Ohod?
Once, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, stood with his companions, Abu Bakr, Omar, and Uthman. May Allah be pleased with them, on this mount. And it did shake. So the Prophet, peace be upon him, said to it, Be firm, on you stand a messenger, a truthful, and two martyrs.
How did the Prophet, peace be upon him, organize the army?
The Prophet, peace be upon him, went down the valley and had the armies pack be towards the mount and made the archers, who were 50, sit on the mount behind the army and made Abdullah bin Jabir their leader. The Prophet ordered Abdullah bin Jubair and his companions to stay in their places and not to leave them.
Who lifted the Muslims' banner?
The Prophet, peace be upon him, gave the banner to Mus'ab bin Umair.
How did the battle start?
The Prophet, peace be upon him, started to urge the Muslims with sword to fight and said, Who gets back his sword's right?
I will get back its right. Who's this man? He's Abu Dujana. Why does he have a ribbon in his head?
This means that he's going to fight hardly till death.
I am who was promised by my trust friend, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, while we were at the mountain near the palm tree to fight the enemies with the Prophet's swords. Allah is the greatest.
O Muslims, I am Talha bin Abu Talha, the lifter of Quraysh banner. I ask for a duel.
Who is Talha?
He was one of the strongest fighters of Quraysh.
Who advanced for his duel?
Ali bin Abu Talib, may Allah be pleased with, did. He was still a young boy. Therefore, Talha poked fun at him and asked for another older player.
Ali killed him in
Her heart was filled with hatred, so she agreed with her slave Wahshi ibn Harb and promised to set him free if he killed Hamza.
Did Wahshi kill Hamza?
In the middle of the crowd, he stabbed Hamza with a bayonet, and due to this stab, Hamza died.
Certainly. The Prophet, peace be upon him, was grieved with Hamza's death.
Yes, very much. He named him the master of martyrs.
How was the battle going on?
The Muslims achieved victory.
Did the battle end with the Palace's defeat?
How?
When the archers saw the Muslims running away, although they were told by the Prophet peace be upon him not to. The archers' leader, Abdullah bin Jubair, reminded them of the Prophet's order, but they did not listen to him and thought that the Pharisees were totally defeated.
What happened then?
The Muslims' army back was exposed when the archers went down.
Did no archers remain?
No, their leader and another 9 remained, and they were firm in their positions.
What did the Pharisees do then?
Khalid bin al-Walid noticed that the mount is empty of archers, except for a little. So he surrounded the Muslims and killed Abdullah bin Jubair and his archers. Did the other Pharisees know about this? Yes, they knew when Khalid's knights shouted their victory and the Pharisees jumped on the Muslims, hitting them with their swords till they were separated, and only a little Muslims remained around the Prophet, peace be upon him. Muhammad is killed! Why was this rumor said? It was said by the Pharisees to panic the Muslims.
Did the Muslims believe it?
Some did, and some other did not, till they were sure of his safety, peace be upon him.
Did the polytheists reach the Prophet, peace be upon him?
Yes, they did. They tried to kill him, and he, peace be upon him, fell in a pit.
What happened to him, peace be upon him?
He, peace be upon him, had his molar broken and his face injured. What did the companions Muslims do then? My father and mother are sacrificed for you, O Prophet of Allah! The Muslims gathered around the Prophet, peace be upon him, like the shield, and protected him with their chests. There were 7 of Al-Ansar and 2 of Al-Muhajirin. When the Pharisees hurt grew bigger, the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "Who fights them back, and he is in paradise." So Al-Ansar advanced one after another, till everyone who advanced was killed. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "We were not just to our companions." What did they do then? Only Talha bin Ubaidullah and Sa'd bin Abu Waqqas remained, and they fought with exceptional courage. Still Talha's fingers were cut. Nusayba al-Mazaniya also participated in defending the Prophet, peace be upon him.
Did she fight?
Yes, she took a sword and fought till she was injured 12 times with her husband and sons. So the Prophet, peace be upon him, entreated Allah that they be his companions in paradise. Thus, the Prophet, peace be upon him, was endangered. Yes, he was. Ubay bin Khalaf tried hard to kill him, peace be upon him, but the Prophet fought him and struck him dead. The Prophet's injuries were a consolation to the Muslims since he, peace be upon him, participated with them in fight.
Is Muhammad among you?
The Prophet, peace be upon him, commands you not to answer him. Is Abu Bakr among you? Is Omar among you? Did the Muslims remain silent?
No.
Omar bin al-Khattab could not control his anger and shouted, "O enemy of Allah, those whom you just mentioned are all alive."
Did Abu Sufyan stay silent?
No. He angrily shouted, "Hubal is the highest." Did the Muslims answer him? Omar rose and said, repeating after the Prophet, "Allah is the most highest." Did Abu Sufyan keep silent? No. He said, "We have the Uzza and you don't." So Omar answered, repeating after the Prophet, "Allah is our supporter and you have no supporter."
What did Abu Sufyan say then?
He said with anger, "This day is for the day of Badr." Omar answered him, "No way. Our killed men are in paradise, whereas yours are in the fire." And this way the battle ended, with the Muslims' defeat. What was the number of the Muslims' martyrs? 70 men.
What about the polytheists who were killed?
They were 23.
Oh my God, the Muslims were gravely hurt.
But they learned many lessons. What did they learn? This battle uncovered the truth about the hypocrite and the faithful, and the Muslims learned many strategies of war. Who can include them? The importance of sticking to the leader's orders. That's right. Not to have greed for worldly things.
And that the woman can take part in fight and their existence in the army is necessary.
Well said. Also we learned that life is a day for you and another on you, and victory is linked to things. If we neglect, we lose. Then it was an important battle in Muslim history. Of course it was. Now, my sons, every one of you should go to do his work. Would you tell us about another battle, my grandfather?
Yes, about the battle the Muslims won.
All right. But in the next time. Goodbye.